Um, okay, so let's check if everything is indeed working. I believe everything should be working fine. Just gonna clear a few more things before starting. Can I see the chat on this actually? I guess that's probably something. I'll just do this for now. Few seconds. Let's see. Just a few more things before we start. Let's do. Well, yeah, I guess we may as well start. Is there a way I can see the chat? Ah, there it is. There's the chat, there's the stream. Sorry for taking a little long. To be fair, I haven't actually sent the link to my channel anyway yet, but yeah, I think that should be it. Okay. window capture. Yo, hi, hi Bruce. Yeah, just getting everything set up for the power rankings, pretty much. Oh yeah. I mean, you could choose to stay or not if you want or not. Ah, no worries. Um, yeah, that is fair. I mean, it might make it more interesting to look over them, if you don't know what they're gonna be. I will say, some of the teams are a little questionable in how good they are, but mm, yeah, I need someone to counteract the biases I probably have. Yes, I think I'm just gonna probably just send it now. Okay, um, yeah, okay. I'll just wait for maybe. Yo, hello. Oh, guess not. Hello. Yeah, we're just gonna be going over the teams pretty much. You can hear me right from the stream. Just want to make sure on that. But yeah, I guess we will get started. We'll start with a Groudon div. I want to get through these relatively quickly, I think, because there's quite a lot of teams to cover. Actually, 28 in total. So we won't waste too much time. Starting with Stefan's team or Stefan. I think that's it. So yeah, the team consists of Lunala, Urshifu Single Strike, Terra Taunty, Psychozar, Scizor, Iron Moth, Rotomosh, Enam T, Rhyperior, and Gabite. Now this is for sure interesting. We do see Lunala pick one overall, which is definitely interesting considering some of the stuff that went over in the other div and what was picked over there. Urshifu Single Strike, obviously great typing synergy with Lunala. Now it isn't a Terra Captain, so it's like the it's not as good when it doesn't have Terra, to be honest. It doesn't really hit as hard, but we do have Terra Taunty, so kind of does make sense. As well as that, we just have Cyclozar for, I guess, some speed and removal. Regen Core with Taunty, Sizzle, just a consistent Hit Taker just does damage, a damage trader. Iron Moth as well. Non-Terra Iron Moth, I'll be honest, not the biggest fan of it. I think it's kind of weak. Um, and obviously, while its typing is nice to be a grounded poison, fairy resist, it gets hit by a lot super effectively, and like sometimes it just doesn't even take neutral physical moves. But rounding out, we have Rotom Wash, obviously as a defensive pivot. Enamti, which I guess is a fairy. It's not a great one, but it is one. And Rhyperior, so maybe just like some rocks. Yeah, again, not with Terra. So there are like quite a few Pokemon that I do think want Terra on this team, like Urshifu, the Iron Moth, Enam, Rhyperior. I think some of them kind of suffer without it. Still, I don't think it's a bad team exactly. Um, Cyclizar, it's like removal. I think, well, I don't think it's insane. I think it's like a decent enough core. With the team. It's not anything crazy, but I think it's like a good place to start out. Now, I don't actually have any logo, so I think I'm just going to use some Pokemon here. I know his favorite Pokemon's Garchomp, so I think we'll just get that up here, really. Let's go find Mr. Chomp. Where is it? Hey, I forgot it's in like the middle of Gen 4 for some reason, because it's weird like that. So it just won't let me drag it to the top, which is kind of annoying, but I'll get it sorted out. Now, for the team, I'm thinking a B or A minus. It's not a bad team by any means. Doesn't seem nothing like stands out to me as broken, but obviously Lunala is pretty strong. Terratorn is obviously like maybe I'm kind of underselling it by saying that other things want to be Terra captains, but it's of course great. A Terraflying Terra Blast, obviously they've got that options, but I think I'm just gonna probably put it in um A minus for now. Oh, is it not working? Fat. Whoops. Oh, my bad, gang. Um, okay, let me try something out. Oh, right, because it's preview and program scene are different. How do you fix that? I'm so smart, guys. All right, my bad, guys. It looks like we got it fixed. So yeah, I was just thinking for probably an A minus for him. You probably didn't have any indicators what I was talking about. I mean, if you were listening, I guess you probably would have heard. But can everyone hear me? So next team, we have Gecko's team. Um, right, I have some thoughts on this team. So now, obviously, these are going over all the teams. It's nothing to do with how good they are as a player, because I believe they have played some already games. with some decent results actually. Um, but in terms of the team, I'm like so basically what they did is they left their Ubers to like pretty much the very end. A great Tusk, for sure an interesting first pick. Darkrai, Slowking, Galar. So for their Ubers they have Kieran Black and Dialga Origin. Now I do think Kieran Black was kind of a steal for putting it in bronze. Obviously pairing of Dialga Origins interesting. It's another dragon, relatively similar speed tier. Um, I do like Dialga separately, but I'm not sure it's like the best combination you can have Kieran Black. Uh, Great Tusk, Soaking Galar, Darkrai. I mean, obviously it's a great top core. Um, but I just can't help but think, you know, with how our Terra Ubers things works, couldn't we just have made Darkrai the Terra Captain instead? I feel like it would add so much to the team. Um, Give it a lot of offense. Obviously, Terra Darkrai is a very strong Pokemon. I think Terra Darkrai, Kyurem Black, obviously hitting that hard with a great speed tier as well. I'm not sure. Because we have both Rotom Heat and Skeledirge. Just interesting. Like Skeledirge, I get it's a pretty good Terra Captain, but Rotom Heat and Sylveon just seem completely redundant as Terra Captains to me. I mean, Sylveon maybe, and we also have like Frostlass, an Knuckle stack. Unfortunately, it just doesn't really make much sense to me. So I think I might put it in C or D. Um, Now obviously this is nothing to see how well they can play. In fact, we've seen how well they can play with some of their games. They've already won some games, so they're definitely not to be underestimated. But I think in terms of the team, I wouldn't put it as high. I believe they like Psyduck, so just put it in here for now. For the next team, we have Razi's team. I don't think he's in chat today. No, I don't think so. But we see Razzie rocking out with a team of Mewtwo, Meowscarada, Gliscor, Hydrapple, Quaquaval, Heatran, Thundurus, Slowbro, Galar, Glaceon, and Swaddle. Now, um, the core of Mewtwo, Meowscarada seems pretty strong. Gliscor's obviously consistent hazard, stuff like that. Though I do think it's a little worse than Uber's just because it doesn't, because it kind of struggles to wall a lot of the Ubers really. Like teams, but obviously in Ubers, a lot of just the top threads can just simply break through it. But obviously it's still great. Quaquaval, we do see spin. Can be a cool offensive threat. Yeah, again, I think it's kind of hard to get a spin off with Quaquaval in this format, but of course, still got Heatran, still a solid core. Now, what's interesting is Terra Hydrapple and the fact we have that with Meowscarada. Now, Double Grass isn't something I haven't seen before. Obviously, Hydrapple is also Terra. With Regenerator, I can see how it goes with Gliscor as well. Thundurus is also an interesting one, I guess. I guess it's a decent enough offensive threat. It can use Terra Flying, Terra Blast. Slobo, Galar, I mean, it's a poison type. Glaceon, Swaddle, let's be so honest, they don't do anything. So yeah, I think this is probably just another A minus team if I were to say. Now, I don't actually have any logos for the team, so I'm just going to use Pokemon I know they like. So I'm going to get Razzie a Turtwig. Above or below still? I'll probably still put it above for now. So, next up we have Farhan Kabir Khan, I think that's how you say it. Um, is he cool? No. But yeah, another quite interesting team. We see Solgaleo, Roaring Moon, Spectra, Terra Enamorus, Swampert, Overquill, Terra Moltres, Flamigo, Torina, and Masquerain. Now, not too sure what Terra Moltres or Terra Tsarina do, but it's quite obvious that they're not the main point of this team. It's Terra Enamorus, and we see Solgaleo, Roaring Moon, and Spectra. Now, Spectra is an interesting case, as it did get picked up as an Uber. Now, I did originally have it as a non-Uber, but after seeing some speed tours, it was a pretty clear conclusion that that Mon is very clearly an Uber's Mon. So it's interesting to see it picked up. Obviously, with Roaring Moon, it's a great offensive core. I do think this is pretty strong offensively. Swampert, like nice. I guess it's arena for spin. It's not like the best, but it gets the job done. Same with stuff like Moltres, Swampert, Flamigo, Masquerain, a few interesting picks. Now I think this is like a decent enough team. I do think the offensive core of the top three is pretty good, but I mean, the offensive capabilities do look very good. Now, I'm not quite too sure about how well it stands defensively, really. I mean, I guess it could take hits. Obviously, Spectra does have some problems with stuff like normal types, and dark types. Solgaleo and Roaring Moon don't have the best time now. Enamorus does counter them, but it'll definitely be interesting to see. Now, where do I put this team? I'm probably underselling it, to be honest. I'm not really too sure what Pokemon to put for his either. Oh, and he also has an Alchemy, which I guess I forgot to put. I'm just gonna ask him what Pokemon he wants. But I guess in the meantime, we'll move on to the next team. So, um, okay, I guess he just told me to put the Alcremie then. Got it. I guess I'll take this one. I think I lost it. Guess we're not taking that one then. Why is this thing being so annoying right now? Yeah, I think I'll put it in the B tier for now. Now, obviously, things are subject to change. Um, Now for Johnny's team. So we do see that for his first overall pick, he picked up Groudon. So Groudon, Goldengo, Terra Walking Wake, Clefable, Talonflame, Sneasler, Rillaboom, Farigiraf, Terra Quagsire, and Spiritomb. So now this is another interesting one. We do have Groudon as the main center point here. We do also have Terra Walking Wake, which can benefit greatly from the sun. Goldengo also keeping up any hazards that they might want to set with like Groudon, Clefable, stuff like that. As well as I guess Talonflame. Um, but I feel like you probably want a better fire type to take advantage of the sun than Talonflame. Now obviously I could be proven wrong and see Talonflame put a lot of work in. I feel like it has like relatively low offensive stats, but we will just have to see. Now we do also see the core of Sneasler and Rillaboom, which isn't which is also definitely interesting here to see. I guess it covers their offensive bases pretty well. We do also see like Farigiraf, Quagsire, I guess for more hazards. We do have Groudon, but obviously you don't want to use that as a hazard setter. I think Terra is just because they can afford it. Spiritomb may be able to do one of things. Farigiraf, I guess as well. Maybe if you're facing like a Spectre or something, because this team does look like it has pretty much no ghost resist other than Farigiraf, so that is definitely something to take in account. Overall, I don't exactly feel too strongly about this team. I feel like pretty indifferent. So he really wanted Chi-Yu. That does make sense, actually. yeah, I'm just gonna pick up what he wants. So Sand Slash. Now, let me see of the exacts of this team. Now, obviously, these are subject to change. I'm doing these relatively quickly because I don't exactly have all day, I can't lie. So yeah, let's move on to Ryan Herman's team, led by Calyrex Ice Rider. We see Landorus, Terra King Gambit, Cinderace, Glamora, Terra Sinister, Manphy, Grimmsnarl, Goodra, and Bastiodon. So Calyrex Ice Rider definitely does make sense. It's a very strong offensive threat. Do also see Landorus round 2, which is interesting. But I guess, we do also see Terra King Gambit. Kind of seen a fall off recently, but like for Terra 16 points, it's not too bad. And definitely can clean up some end games. Cinderace as well, just a strong attacker, get hazards off our side though. Seems kinda. It's interesting having it with Glamora as well. Obviously Cinderace has court change, so it can switch hazards around. So it seems kinda counterintuitive to have it with Glamora. But of course, you don't always need to run court change, but it's just a cool option to have. Glamora does also form as a form of removal. Now, it's not the best form of removal because it can kind of get walled against steals, but we do have a Cinderace, we do have a Landorus. Terra Sinister can definitely put in some work as well. A Manaphy is like, I know some people like it. I'm not a very big fan. I think in Ubers, it's like very hard to get like a good tail glow sweep going. But obviously we do have Grimmsnarl to try and facilitate this team. Like I can definitely see some setup with like Calyrex or King Gambit on the screens, which can be scary. And we do have Goodra, I guess as Spadef. I mean, I guess, and Bastiodon. So how do I rate this team? I do actually quite like the options I have, even though I'm not too hot on a lot of the Pokemon. I do like the options we have on the screens. Kind of fills most roles. Is there any clear glaring weaknesses? Ooh, we are actually very weak to water. Now we do have Sinister, Manphy, and like Goodra, but yeah, again, I'm not too sure about Goodra since it kind of has low offensive potential and kind of not too much special offense outside of Landorus. I mean, Glimora obviously can, but it's also a hazard setter. Um, and I guess Sinister, because Manaphy actually surprisingly doesn't hit that hard. I still don't think it's a bad team though. I'm kind of go through these teams relatively quickly. I've no idea what his favorite Pokemon is, so I think I'll just probably just give him like what's a Pokemon he has on his team? I might just give him Calyrex Ice Rider because that is what he has on his team. Hopefully this doesn't take too long and the dragging just starts tweaking out again. Oh well. What? It's really annoying that this keeps happening, but where did it go? Where the hell did it go? Oh well, we'll get back to it. I'll probably put his team in in B. Most of the teams I'll put in B to be honest. Maybe I didn't need to make an A plus on A minus, I just needed one. I might remove it. So after that we have the Rook's team. So I believe he took over, so this is definitely interesting. The Iron Valiant was originally Terra, but we have seen it shifted to the Landorus T and the Reuniclus. We do also see Giratina, Chiyu, Excadrill, Ogerpon, Vaporeon, and a few other guys. Chiyu, we do have some nice special offense here. We do have Giratina, but I have a really big question. Where is our second Uber? Like, sure, Giratina is great and all. Iron Valiant, can be pretty good, Terra Landorus. It's not like these mons are bad, but I feel like there's, like, a big offensive threat that we're kind of just missing here. I mean, I guess Zamazenta base form seems kind of counterintuitive since we already have Iron Valiant, but it works so well with Giratina. Obviously, Iron Valiant does as well. It just seems a little interesting. Like, these last four picks, I think you could have subbed them all out for a second Uber Pokemon. Of course, we do still have Excadrill, Ogerpon as Ogerpon as well. Sets up hazards, gives us a nice speed tier. Can be defensive at times, and Vaporeon. Um, I guess it's like a Wish Passer. It's kind of just like worse Aloe. I would probably put this team. I can't justify putting it in A. Really. I think I'm just gonna make one tier for A actually. No, I'll keep it. Yeah, I just can't really justify putting the team too high in my opinion. So A. I can't be bothered to go all the way down, so I think I'll just bring Vaporeon. I guess Calyrex Ice Rider's just missing somewhere. I still can't find it right. Oh, anyone in chat? If you see it, please point it out. I have no idea where this Calyrex. Oh, here it is. Yes, we found Calyrex, guys. It's truly incredible. Wait, what was the specific place I put it in? Above Johnny's. Yeah, I think this is reasonable. So, after that, we have An Washan's team, led by Terra Stella Terapagos. Very interesting to see the difference between the two divs here. Here we see a lot of like the big Ubers Pokemon, not many of the Terra Ubers Pokemon here, but like the Pokemon that aren't usually allowed as Terra but are as Ubers Pokemon in here. We don't see a lot in this div, but we do see a lot in the other div, so it's definitely something interesting, I have to say. And to be honest, Um, Terapagos does look really good. It was sweeping a lot of speed tours, but of course that doesn't make the whole team. We do also see Iron Bundle and Corviknight. So we see some choices. We see because we have Corviknight, Clodsire, Dondozo, Chansey, Dusclops. Yeah. I don't know. I don't. It's still in Ubers and without Ho-Oh. I definitely can't say I have some questions. Non-Terra Half-Flame. As a late pick and a breaker, I do like it here. Weavile, I guess it's kind of fraudulent this gen. Just doesn't get that level of damage unless it's like banded or something and it gets picked off very easily. Obviously, Terapagos is great. Iron Bundle also for that speed. But I feel like we're just missing some offense. Also, as stuff like our spinner is Bramblegast. Um, we do have Defog and Corviknight, but then we kinda, as like a more bulky, stallish team, we want progress from like hazards from like Clodsire. There's also like, I guess Chansey actually got drafted. Now I did intentionally make Chansey and Blissey very expensive. Mostly because like I just don't think they're fun to play against. I didn't expect it to actually get picked up. 11 points is kind of a big sink. Dustclops is also interesting. I guess it's a spin blocker if we need one. Comfey as well. It's like a serviceable fairy type. Unfortunately, I don't rate this team too highly. I think it is just going to be a C or D tier team. Is it above his team? Hmm. Yeah, I still think it's better than Gecko's team. Now, Lucid Coffee's team. Now things are picking up. We have Zacian as the first pick. Also Ting Lu and Terra Raging Bolt. Look, a nice strong core you got there. Ting Lu obviously great for hazards. Raging Bolt a big offensive threat, and Zacian for their speed. But as well, we also just got some consistent offensive threats. Annihilate. A spin blocker, also punishing defog, so works nice with Ting Lu. Look upon Wellspring, not a bad speed tier for this team. Just like does a bunch of things, whatever you need it to do. Spikes, Ivy Cudgel, just offensive, support, whatever you need, defensive. Also Metagross, no, also just some nice typing synergy we got here, just some nice defensive core, and Pheasantipity for more pivoting out, as well as Vikavolt for hazards. Braviary? Braviary actually got drafted in both divisions. I could not tell you why this mon got drafted, but with Terra maybe it can do something, and Carbink for hazards. Now I do actually really like this team. Definitely compared to some of the other teams in this division, I think is one of the stronger ones. It's just consistent offense, it's just bulky offense. We have a lot of bulk on our team. Obviously not that much recovery. We could maybe use a wish passer, but to be honest, it's like there's not too much more you want. We do still have like synthesis on Ogerpon, Roost on Pheasantipity. I think this is gonna be our first A plus team. Now I wonder what did they put again? I do just have this open in case. What did they say they wanted? Oh yeah, Hooper. Time to find Hooper. Hopefully, it doesn't just get banished to the Shadow Realm like Calyrex did earlier. Now, where is this little guy? Here they are. Right. Next team, I believe they picked this team up. Um, so I think the first four picks aren't theirs. It's Dustbin Lexi. Now, obviously, they're a great player, arguably the best here in my opinion, but that's nothing to do with their team. Obviously, these are based on the teams, not based on how good the players are, in my opinion. And we have Ho-Oh, Shenpao, Jirachi, Zapdos, Keldeo, Weezing, Arachnid, Donphan, Skuntank, and Brionne. Now, Ho Chien-Pao does look like a pretty strong core. Chien-Pao can do a lot of damage. It's like a speedy threat, but Ho is also a more defensive Uber Pokemon with a Regenerator, but also can put on the pressure. I do feel like we might want boots a bit on these, especially Ho, but obviously we'll have to see. Jirachi as well. Just Hazard Setter, Choice Scarf, Healing Wish, whatever you need it to be. Zapdos is interesting with Ho. I believe it wasn't Lexi who picks this up. Man, I guess defensively it kind of makes sense. There is some overlap there because like Ho can be like a physical attacker, Zapdos can be special, and of course the signature Terra Keldeo. Keldeo does look really nice now. It fills out the speed tier as well. It's a strong offensive threat. And as well as just Weezing, Galar, Arachnid, Donphan, Weezing, Grounded Poison if you need, Levitate if you also need that, Defog, since we kind of want some hazard removal. Arachnid for hazards, getting up sticky webs, also just as another option for water type since we might want to be Terra on our Keldeo or use it more offensively. Donphan just as a spin, really spin, rocks, earthquake. Doesn't really need to do too much more, that's basically the gist of it, and Skunk Tank as another grounded poison in case we are levitate on Wheezing, I think. I do like this team. I think it has some very nice options. Now, I don't think it's broken by any means, but I probably just gonna put it in the A minus tier, I think. Maybe I should just make this S tier, uh, because it doesn't seem there are too many teams in A plus. We'll have to see with the other division. You know what? Yeah. Um, I'll get around to it. So, probably what better Pokemon to do to represent this? There are obviously a few they could want. I wonder if they're in chat. Do they request something specifically? No, I don't think so. So I'm just gonna go get Keldeo. This very much is the style of team I do like personally. I think probably like here, I think that is reasonable. Now maybe I need to pick up the pace of it. We have I Am Temple, I swear, and yeah, we see Zekrom, Floodmane, Terracleavor, Primarina, Um, Muck Alola with Terra, Skarmory, Hooper Unbound, Indeedee, Chimco, and Smeargle. So for the positives, we have like Zekrom, Fluttermane is a strong core. Obviously, we have like hazards with Skarmory and stuff. Cleaver also can get them up. Primarina, as an alternative, more bulky fairy type and water type, I get it. But, but yeah, we see. So there's Cleaver, Terra Cleaver, and Terra Muck. I hate to break it to you, but these are not good Terra Captains. Now, you have a great Terra Captain right there. It's called Hooper Unbound, but... Oh yeah, I think they also have... Is it Cerulege? Well, I believe so. Also Cerulege. I kind of didn't update that on the dog. Yeah, I guess I'm also giving him his Alcremie. Alcremie. Yes. Um, I do definitely respect it. I think Zekrom Fluttermane is a strong Uber's core. And they do have roles in DD Hooper Unbound. I can definitely see the vision with what they're trying to do here, but in the end, I think this kind of falls flat, really. Cerulege is nice, but we do also have Fluttermane and both Fluttermane and Primarina, who, and it feels like it kind of overlaps roles with Hooper as well, especially since it's not a Terra Captain. Now, if Cerulege was the Terra Captain, it would make sense, but unfortunately, I think I'm just gonna put this team in C. Let's see, what Pokemon should I put here? Dekrom, Fluttermane, Cleaver. What's a nice and early Pokemon in the decks that I can put in here? Yes, Alolan Muck. Why not, as their very questionable Terra Captain choice. So, next up, we have Gabrielito's team that I think Lexi drafted for them actually. So finally, we see Terra Dragapult. Now, I don't know where this mon has been missing for 11 rounds, but it's here. Obviously, Zamacrowned, incredible duo. it's just great offensive synergy. I'm really surprised it didn't go earlier. We do also see Petron, which is interesting. I definitely can see it as a more defensive ghost type. It's interesting for sure. It does kind of cover the fairy types. We do see Crocodile, like Hazards and stuff. Blastoise, which can get spins off. Mesprit, Healing Wish, Florges. I guess it's a fairy type. Thunderous Fairy for more offense. Zapdos, Galar as a choice cover. So I guess it does kind of fall off a bit, but it still does look really strong. We got Mesprit as a healing wisher to bring things up. We got hazards. Oh my, I guess crocodiles are only. No, Mesprit does also get hazards. We have spin. It kind of does fill all the roles you need. I guess this is just some luxury offense. Now I don't think it's like crazy, but I'm probably gonna put it at below in A plus below Lucid Coffee's team. What's a good Pokemon here? What's a good Pokemon to put for his team, really? Yeah, let's get the big man himself. Let's get Big Man Blastoise. Oh, he wanted Kamala? Right. um, alright, bye Blastoise. Stop forcing me to get these mons from so far down. Now, where is Kamala? I guess he does also have Kamala if he faces like Spectre or Lunala or something. I don't know what this mon does respectively. I mean, I guess it has its niches. So yeah, I'm probably gonna take a short break after these two. Um, but yeah, we'll continue the stream. Next up we have Tereso's team. Obviously nothing to do with the player. But we see a Magina, Terra Garchomp, another one which I do think is definitely interesting for bronze. I do think was a steal. Can be hazard setting, can be offensive, aloe, obviously to heal them up. Um, the main weakness of Magina is that it doesn't have any recovery, so that is nice to have. Mandibuzz, just some nice defog defensive pieces. Ogerpon Cornerstone, some more speed, hazard setting. Deoxys, kind of the same idea. Sableye, Bellybolt, Gouging Fire, and Quillfish. Now, I do definitely like the options of Magina, Terra Garchomp, Aloe, I did not mean to do that. Mandibuzz as well. Nothing like strikes me as crazy. Garchomp obviously one of the Terra Ubers that we have. Deoxys Speed, nice for setting up hazards and stuff. I do think we do have some nice hazard options, but we don't really have the best removal. Our removal is Mandibuzz. And considering we have so many good hazard options, it's kind of a shame that we don't have spin and instead of defog. I guess you can kind of get away with running boots, but I'm not too sure to be honest. Gouging Fire is also another interesting one. I believe they picked up this late. They do have Garchomp. I guess it kind of facilitates a different role. I think it's interesting for sure. Terra Bellybolt as well. It can put in work. Sableye actually in Ubers does have a niche in what it can do, and Quillfish for more hazards and I guess just a grounded poison which they kind of needed. I do like the team, but I don't think I can put it too high. Maybe at the bottom of A minus, I think would be reasonable for it. Yeah. What Pokemon should I put here? Anything in particular? I don't know to be honest. Let me just get Deoxys, because why not? Now, finally, we have our Themis team. Um, we see Rayquaza, Iron Treads, and the Necrozma Dawnwings, Terra Iron Hands, Greninja, Diancie, Arboliva, Terra, Quillfish, Hisui, Volcarona, and Cutiefly. Rayquaza, and Iron Treads we do see as our first round picks. Maybe a little early for Iron Treads, but it does work well with Rayquaza, getting them spins off, getting hazards off for Rayquaza in order to put in work. Necrozma Dawnwings is also another interesting one. It is like usually silver, I think, but it just never gets picked. It's never worth the value, so I lowered it to bronze. It definitely is interesting though. Like Parent, I think Synergy, it's more just like as a strong offensive threat. It's actually a very scary Scarfer, though obviously its Ghost Psychic typing can be quite a detriment. You do need to watch out for stuff like um Sucker Punch, or just stuff that naturally outspeeds you, because it doesn't really. The 77 speed is relatively low for it. Iron Hands as a Terra Captain is also interesting. Now, I do think Terra Iron Hands is good. There's just like a few more options that would have preferred it, really. Diancie as well, just hazard setting, our believer. I guess it's just another one of those normal types that's there purely for the ghost type threats, really. Greninja as well does kind of cover for it. The team doesn't look bad per se. Volcarona can also be nice. It just doesn't stand out to me really much. I feel like you could probably get away with some better Terra captains. Like, sure, Iron Hands is good, but it functions perfectly fine without Terra. So, yeah, let's see. I'll probably put it like top. Wait, let's see some of the teams. Yeah, I'll put it in like around the top of B. What mon should we get? Who picked up Ray here? Yeah, I think we can just get Rayquaza here for them. That's Groudon. And yeah, I'm just gonna take a little break and I'll be back in a bit. Okay. Oh, come on, please don't lag on me. Alright, alright, alright. Music, please stop lagging. So, we're probably gonna be back. Okay, come on. Give Please stop lagging. Okay. So, we're probably just gonna be continuing on, from there. If the music cuts out, then, screw me, I guess. So now it's time for the Kyogre div. And yeah, so I guess we'll just start off with I'm Mortal's team. Maybe I'll change the tier list around a bit. But now, personally, I think this div has the stronger teams, and I think this is an introduction why, right? So we start off with Magearna, Landorus Therian, Terra Latios, Mandibuzz, Rotom Wash, Okidogi, Shaman, Volcarona, Kingambit, and Terra Regice. So Magearna Latios is a really strong combination. I was definitely thinking about it. Interesting that Magearna went first pick overall, but still I think they put a pretty strong team together. Landorus Therian, obviously great for setting up hazards. Mandibuzz, a Defogmon, Rotom Wash as well, just Okidogi, Grounded Poison, Shaman, you know, more defensive utility, of course, but there's also like Volcanion, Kingambit. I do think the team's pretty solid. It covers a lot of ground. I don't think it's probably not. It's probably still an A- team, to be honest. Magearna does look very nice next to Terra Latios. There's also Landorus T. For some reason we just have so many ground immunities, or ground resist. It doesn't really make sense, but you know, I still think it's a pretty decent team. I think can probably fetch up Latios from here. Interesting that the other Terra Latios didn't get drafted, even though they were only in bronze, so that's definitely something interesting. Will I put it here? No, it's probably still here, to be honest. So, next up, it's time for some biased power ranking, because it's my team. Now, what can I say? Obviously I will have biases, it's the team I drafted, but I'll go over it. It's Terra, Dragapult, Tinglu, Zamazenta Crown, Aloe, Momola, Ditto, Glimora, Kyurem, Rabombi, Avalugg, and Moltres. So, as you've seen before, I think the combination of Dragapult and Zamazenta Crown is really strong, as well as just Tinglu. Like, this is an incredible top 3, as well as Aloe as well. It supports them so well. Flip turn, pivoting, also healing for Zamazenta and Tinglu is really appreciated. I think this is an incredible top 4, but then things start to go off the rails a bit. Ditto, I do really like Ditto in this format, obviously. Just being able to steal one of your opponent's Uber's Pokemon is a big deal. Also prevents them from like doing crazy setups. Obviously they can go for sub, but like sub seems quite hard to get off. Maybe you can get it off on Aloe, but like when people bring that up, I don't really think it's that good of an excuse about like how Ditto is counterable. Obviously there are a few Pokemon that can't copy it, but I still do like it. And yeah, I got sniped quite a lot after this, so I ended up with some quite interesting stuff. Now we have Glamora as a grounded poison, also for hazards and stuff. We do have Tinglu, you know, pretty much the best hazard bot in the game, but Glamora does also facilitate that role, maybe as a sash lead, get up some hazards, get up some T-spikes, also gives me a special attacker I needed. Now, I'll be honest, I don't like Glamora as a Pokemon. Like it's in the past it hasn't been too good for me, but it just kind of filled all the roles I needed. Obviously Mortal Spin, getting hazards off as well. So I was like, you know what, I may as well bite the bullet and draft it. And after that we got Kyurem. Now some people are probably questioning me for this pick. It doesn't really do anything for me defensively, but that's mainly not the goal, because Kyurem, it's kind of like luxury offense, right? We have a nice defensive core here. Kyurem actually has some pretty good bulk, all things considered. A lot better than I expected. I think it's like 125, 90, 90, which is actually pretty good. But yeah, just as a really strong breaker for my team. Could be physical as well. I think for this team it's mostly special. Also don't really have the most to hit water, so Freeze Strike is really appreciated. Just slap on something like a Choice Scarf, Heavy Duty Boots if I want to not take damage from hazards, also like Choice Specs just to be an incredible breaker. That's kind of really, you don't really have switch-ins against this mon, so I definitely think it's an interesting choice for the team. It does have great coverage. Some people question me. Personally, I like it, but that's just myself. And after that, we have Rabombi. I was kind of running low on stuff that's ground resist and fairies, since as answers to like dragons and stuff. So I settled on Rabombi. Now, obviously, it doesn't make the speed tiers too great, but it gives us webs. It can put on some offensive damage with Moonblast, and Bug Buzz also does get Energy Ball, some coverage. It's not ideal, but you know, it does get the job done. And Moltres as well, just a defensive pivot, some healing, get some flame body procs, really. It's kind of the gist of it. And finally Avalugg, just to get spins off. Now, I don't think, Now, putting my team at the top, you may think that I'm saying that my team's the best, but I'll be honest, there are quite a few teams in this division that are really scary. So I wouldn't exactly think of that. Now let's see Lucid Coffee's team, to be honest. Zacian Tinglu. Oh. This is another really good team. I do think it's better than Gabriello's team. Why not, why not? I'll put it above, even if it may possibly be unjustified here. I don't think it's an S tier team though. Now we got X Elemental's team, another very interesting team. We see Ho, Shen Pao, as we've seen before, just a really strong offensive combination here. Obviously they are both weak to rocks, but I mean Ho often does have boots. We do have Excadrill as our removal, and Terra Hydrapple, which is interesting, definitely leaning more into the defensive regenerator core here. We do also have Clodsire with, I think Terra just because they could, it seems kind of redundant, as well as Greninja. You know, with Shen Pao, more hazards, I guess, Screamtail, Thunderous Fairy as some more offense, Wugtrio and Golem. I don't think they're doing anything. But yeah, definitely seeing more bulky approach to this team. I think having both Clodsire and Excadrill is definitely interesting for sure. I don't think this team is bad by any means. But just a lot. It doesn't really like pack too much of a punch. I guess Thunderous Fairy is a good breaker, but you know, it's kind of limited by its coverage options, stuff like that, and the other special attacking options, kind of Greninja, so which I guess gets the job done. Actually, it doesn't have that high of a special attack stat, surprisingly. So for this, I wonder where I would put it. I think for this team, Ho-Oh is fitting. Just take it up here. Let's see. What's the Rayquaza team? Very similar. I think I'll put it top of B. And now for Oko Joko's team, so seeing another of the Terra captains here, definitely seeing more in this league with Latios, Dragapult, and now Ogerpon Half-Flame. Does look very nice here. Dialga as well, as the second Uber, so it's a nice core they have here. They also have Corviknight, Deoxys Speed for hazards, Swampert, I guess just as like defensive hazard setter, Pivot, Chi for some more offense, Kilowattrel, Ninetales, Venusaur, so very interesting team. Interesting that they chose Ninetales over Torkoal. I feel like you probably appreciate the spin a bit more since you do have hazard options, but you know, Ninetales is totally respectable here. Ogerpon, Half-Flame under Sun. I don't even, getting that attack boost from Embody Aspect, I don't think I want to know how much damage that does. Venusaur obviously takes advantage of it, Chi-Yu as well. It's quite an offensive team really. We do have some interesting pieces. Terra Lilligant can do stuff. Kilowattrel, I guess we do have like Corviknight, Dialga, so it's definitely that kind of Sun archetype where there's just a lot of offensive threats. Quite a lot of overlap between Pokemon, but you know, stuff breaks for other stuff. I do think the team's good. I think I'll put it bottom of A-. Let's get Dialga up here. So yeah, I think that's kind of the idea. Where did I put Teresa's team again? They were the Deoxys. No, I think that's... yeah, I think that's reasonable. So, now going on to my friend Bandito's team. I do really like this team, I'll be honest. Led by Terrapagos, did not mean to do that, Meowscarada, Garchomp, so it's such a strong core here. Keldeo, Klefki providing screens for the team. Keldeo obviously as a breaker, Clefable, now as a secondary fairy since Klefki doesn't exactly have the most bulk. As well as just some Tentacruel for spin, I guess, Arachnid, Webs, and Talonflame, just guesses for some speed. So, I mean, it's not like... the thing is, that's just such a strong offensive core. It's so versatile. You've got hazards. Terrapagos I do really like. Terrapagos is interesting, so I do think it can be really strong if built around well, and I do really like it on an archetype like this. Terrapagos under screens, Garchomp, Keldeo, just like so many opportunities. Now obviously I think some of the later picks are a bit weaker, but I really do like his team, I'll be honest. I mean, I will put it S, but I'm realizing like it's... I think this is kind of redundant just to have this, so I'm gonna change this around to S. Or maybe not. I'll have to think it through. So after Bandito's team, we do have Lights' team. Now, sadly no Ho-Oh for them. I know they love that one, they love their stall. But we see Giratina Origin Zamazenta now. It's a proven core and there's a reason why it's really good. Terra Gliscor as well. What more would I expect from the Mr. Stall himself? And we have Jirachi, Healing Wish, Stealth Rock, general support for the team. I do like it. It makes us a kind of weak to Ghost. We do have Overcore and Incineroar, I guess, as like hazard setters, defensive switch-ins. Lorges and Sceptile, I guess. Blastoise also nice just as a remover. And do also see Thunderous here, so as another offensive threat. I do like the idea they have going here, just of hazards. Giratina Origin does also notably get Defog, but I'm not too sure if they want to do it here. I do think the team's overall solid. Now, I don't think that it's anything crazy, per se. So where would I put it? Maybe bottom of A-. Let's see. Let's pick up Giratina. I think like here's respectable really. Next up we have K Bartis' team, led by Kieran White, Necrozma Dawn, Urshifu Single Strike without Terra, Terra Heatran, Terra Metagross, Manaphy, Regieleki, Weezing, Iron Leaves, Sylveon and Kamala. This is certainly a team and a half. Now Kieran White and Necrozma Dawn Wings, we do see they're two very strong special threats, as well as Urshifu Single Strike with that nice synergy between them, like offensively, but like I really think we could use Urshifu as Terra here. Like sure Heatran and Metagross appreciate it, but I think one appreciates it way more. It's also that Heatran and Metagross kind of fill the same role. I guess one of them is going to be Terra and the other's not, so there's kind of that mind game. That seems a little redundant there, I can't lie. We do also see Manaphy. I have said I'm not a big fan of it. We do have Regieleki, which I do like for this team, screen support and spin as well. Since we do have some options to hit ground types. We do Weezing as like grounded poison, I guess Levitate as well. But an Iron Leaves, this one doesn't do anything. Sylveon, I guess Wish support and Kamala, so it's not like bad. I think like it's kinda, we have this strong offensive core, but like the rest kind of lacking, to be honest. There's like Heatran and Metagross, having both is kinda confusing. I'm probably inclined to say this team's like a B tier team. Let's pick up Kyurem. It was Vaporeon again. Oh, right. Derek's team. I would still put it above it. Yeah, I think something like this is fair. And finally, we have a few more teams. We now have Jam's team. So Terra Darkrai, once yet again, a lot of Terra captains in this division. I definitely think that it makes some of these teams more interesting. I would argue even better as well. Solgaleo, Urshifu, Rapid, Zapdos, Donphan, Pheasantipity, Baxcalibur, Ogerpon, Teal, Colossal, and Brave. Now, I believe this Pheasantipity pick actually sniped, I believe, 3 people. I wanted it. I think I'm Mortal and Okojoko all interested in picking up this mon, so it was they're just something to note. Terra Darkrai definitely interesting as a first pick. It can be very scary. It has Terra Poison, stuff like that. Solgaleo as well. It's not bad. It does have nice typing synergy. We definitely do see nice typing synergy within that top 3. Urshifu can definitely be a nice choice scarf. And now, personally, I don't like this mon because it can get kind of just easily countered by Rocky Helmet, in my opinion. But I definitely can see its place here. We do also see Zapdos as a defensive pivot. Donphan has getting rid of hazards. Pheasantipity, just a nice defensive pivot, as well as I think some just luxury offensive Baxcalibur. It's a bit weird in my opinion, but you know, we'll have to see it through. Ogerpon as well. So I do think this team is pretty solid. I wonder. Probably put an A- if I were to say. I should probably change some of these tiers, but you know, what can you do? So let's see now. Now we're on to Nikki's. Nikki is a V, I think? I don't know. We see Mewtwo, Terrazarud, Primarina, Goldengo, Psychozar, Ogre Cornerstone, Sandy Shock, Slitherwing, Vikavolt, Mark and Croclaw. Now this is a team probably a team you're more used to seeing. Like Ubers, this is kind of what you expect. We do see Goldengo, Zarude, Mewtwo, it's a nice core you got there. Primarina as well, just being able as a bulky hit taker, Psychozar to get off hazards. Sandy Shocks, I guess Sandy Shocks and Ogerpon are just more hazards, stuff like Slitherwing, Vikavolt as kind of ground resist that you kind of want. But yeah, overall, there's not too much I have to say for this team. Obviously, we got some nice threats here, some support and hazards near the end. I think it's just like a solid team, really. Mewtwo, Terrazarud obviously can put on a lot of sweeps, can put in the work. So I do think it's a pretty solid team. Pretty standard, but you know, that doesn't make it bad. And next we have Game Boy Shadows teams. Now this is an interesting one, to say the least. Rayquaza, Enamorus, Spectria, Iron Hands, Hatterene, Tinkerton, Hitmontop, Dondozo, Monkidori. So Rayquaza's and Spectria's as the Terra captains, I do see. I definitely think the team's interesting. Enamorus, it's Enamorus without Terra. And Rayquaza seems a little counterintuitive. I guess it can be Scarf, like Scarf Healing Wish. Maybe, because it does work well with Spectria. We do see another Iron Hands Terra, just like another case of you can have a better Terra Captain than Iron Hands. Like, sure, Iron Hands is a good Terra Captain, but you can just get something better. Like I'm not sure why you took the Terra off Enamorus. It would have been so much better with it. We do also see Hatterene and Tinkerton, so 3 fairies. Hatterene, I guess, for the bounce back hazards, since our removal is a Hitmontop, which is really not a good Pokemon, especially in Ubers. Tinkerton is nice on core, got that utility. Stealth Rocks as well, Thunder Wave, all that things you would want from a support Pokemon. We also see Dondozo, which is, I'm not sure, man. I just can't really get behind this team. I'm sorry. I believe he likes Vulpix, right? I think that's his favorite Pokemon. Yeah, I think this is a reasonable placement for it. Now onto Oscar's team. We see the Terra Ursaluna Blood Moon, another very interesting option we do see there. And Vladimir, so Sneasel, Rillaboom, Guja, Hisui, Mesprit, Rotom Heat, Agapon, Wellspring, Drifloon, Mabosstiff, and Luminion. I think the Luminion we kind of just gave him as a joke, me and Zacamander, because he didn't actually use his last points, but I don't think it would have mattered too much. Ursaluna Blood Moon is definitely one of the more interesting Terra Captains that can hit so extremely hard. Those Carmine sets are really terrifying. I definitely think that it is an interesting option that he has, and yeah, that with Fluttermane as well as a strong offensive core. Sneasler got nice offensive synergy. Obviously with Rillaboom can activate that Grassy Seed and Unburden to give us speed control. Guja Hisui I guess as well, maybe like Grassy Seed sets I could see. Mesprit does look really nice, got that recovery, just a Stealth Rock, Healing Wish U-turn. I did want it as well, but it was taken this round. Rotom Heat just as, I guess, a ground immunity, so Agapon Wellspring more hazards, but we do also have some Rillaboom, so I think that some of the picks are kind of questionable, but I think overall we have pretty strong offensive core. We have some nice options in terms of hazards. I don't really have too much to say about this team. Probably like, it's probably still like a B tier team, unfortunately. Even though I do like the Ursaluna and Fluttermane, Sneasler, I do like that core. I don't think the team exactly has the amount to, you know, stuff like that. So I'm probably going to put it in B. Let's see, what Pokemon should I pick up? Most of them pretty far down. I think I'll get Blood Moon himself. Where is he? Where is he? I guess he's not here. Okay, I guess I'll just take Fluttermane then. If I'm blind, let me know in the comments. Or not comments, just chat. We're doing this live. So, on to Fantasy's team. I believe this is another team that he picked up. He did make a few changes in grades. So we have Iron Valiant, Terra Iron Valiant, Taunty, Slowking Galar, Kyurem Black, Empoleon, Ursaluna, Grimmsnarl, Fortress, Revenant, Dachshund, and Sand/Alola. Now, Terra Iron Valiant, we do see a lot of these Terra Captains in this division. I think it's another really fun one to try out. Boosts the speed sets as well, obviously. Just Life Orb to hit really hard. There's a lot of interesting Terra types you can go for here. Also stuff like Terra Ghost. As well as Taunty is also interesting as a round 2. I do see the regen core with Slowking is nice, and we do also have Kyurem Black supported by that snow. So I do really like Iron Valiant and Kyurem Black. It's like kind of an unstoppable offensive core. We do also have Empoleon, just as another defensive piece. Fortress, I guess, is our removal. Our removal's a little weak on this team, I'll be honest, but I definitely can see how all these Pokemon can sweep under screen, so I do like Grimmsnarl. Ursaluna, I guess just as a bulky damage trader, I can see it. Trevenant. Okay, I'll be honest, I'm not really too sure about what these last 4 picks do, but I think this is like a really solid core they got up here. So, I would probably rank it decently high. Where exactly though? Ooh, would I put it above Lich's team? Or was it Lich? I don't know. Yeah, I would. I like Slowking and those options they have there, so Yoink. Probably gonna put it around here, I'd say. Okay, so onto Shinobu Kocho's team. Another pretty interesting one. Zacian, Great Tusk, Iron Bundle, Pekkarunt, Roaring Moon, Annihilate, Regigigas, Ariados, Oricorio, and Cerulege. Zacian, Great Tusk, Iron Bundle, like, this seems like a really strong core. I think Cerulege is kind of interesting. I definitely can put in work, but we already have Pekkarunt and Annihilate. I think Annihilate and Pekkarunt are like different enough. Cerulege kinda feels a bit weak, but to be honest, in my opinion, you just bring the top 6 every week, because this is a really strong top 6 Zacian, Iron Bundle, 2 really fast offensive threats, Great Tusk obviously, Annihilate. There is some offensive overlap here, but Roaring Moon, it's just like so many nice offensive threats in one. Sure, I think quite a few of the picks aren't exactly great, but I definitely do respect the team and think it's like, would I'll put it like A. And what I'm looking for again? Oh. We can get one of them. They shouldn't get over here. Yeah, probably like that. And yeah, finally we're gonna finish things off with Moo's team. Calyrex, Ice Rider, Iron Tread. So we do see Iron Treads go early again, which is interesting. Terra, Raging Bolt, Cinderace, Samurai Suri, Weezingala, Vaporeon, Sinister, Carbink, Volbeat. So Raging Bolt definitely does look very nice with that Calyrex Ice Rider classic Bolt Beam combo. What can I say? Cinderace also, you know, getting some of those hazards off. Hazard removal was a little weak. It's like Weezingala and Cinderace. We don't have a spinner. Well, oh, I might just be blind actually, because I completely missed the Iron Tread. So forget about it. Cinderace probably doesn't want to be using Court Change much because of rocks from like Iron Treads. We have spikes from the Samurai, Weezing there to absorb stuff like Toxic Spikes. And yeah, I think this is an overall pretty solid team. It's just a bunch of offensive threats slapped onto a team really, but it does just make sense. Like Cinderace is nice. Maybe the team Oh, whoops. Maybe the team is lacking a bit of speed, but I still think it can make up with that. You do have some options, maybe like booster speeds, iron treads. I'm probably gonna put this team pretty high up as well, maybe the same as Shinobu's team. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna sort a few things out, but that's pretty much it for the power rankings. This is the general idea I have. Maybe I put myself a little too high. Yeah, I think it's kind of pointless having S tier. I think I'm just gonna go like this. Gonna make this S, this A. Yeah, maybe like move a few down because his S. Would I keep Mu and Shinobu's team up there? Yeah, I would. So yeah, this is the power rankings, guys. Thank you for everyone who's been watching. Everyone who's been watching the stream. Hopefully you had a good time. These are the power rankings, and yeah, this is pretty much the idea. And thank you everyone for watching. I'm sure it's going to be quite a fun season. Obviously, they're split into, each div is split into 2 battle pools. Top 4 make it through, so definitely will be interesting to see. Also, with Pokemon Champions being confirmed to be April, this should line up pretty well. This, I expect most people's run to be over like just before Pokemon Champions come out, so I think that's gonna be interesting. And yeah, thank you everyone for watching. These are the power rankings pretty much, and yeah.